Welcome to day 41 of 7:30. Today we're reading Genesis or the rest of Genesis 48 and Genesis 49. From the New Living Translation, it reads 12. Joseph moved to the boys who were at their grandfather's knees, and he bowed with his face to the ground. 13. Then he positions the boys in front of Jacob. With his right hand, he directed Ephraim towards Jacob's left hand, and with his left hand, he put Manasseh at Jacob's right hand. 14. But Jacob crossed his arms as he reached out to lay his hands on the boys' heads. He put his right hand on the head of Ephraim, though he was the younger boy, and his left hand on the head of Manasseh, though he was the firstborn. 15. Then he blessed Joseph and said, May the God before whom my grandfather Abraham and my father Isaac walked, the God who has been my shepherd all my life to this very day, the angel who has redeemed me from all harm, may he bless these boys, may he preserve my name and the names of Abraham and Isaac, and may their descendants multiply greatly throughout the earth. 17. But Joseph was upset when he saw that his father placed his right hand on Ephraim's head. So Joseph lifted it to remove it from Ephraim's head to Manasseh's head. 18. No, my father, he said, this one is the firstborn. Put your right hand on his head. 19. But his father refused. I know, my son. I know, he replied. Manasseh will also become a great people, but his younger brother will become even more greater, and his descendants will become a multitude of nations. 20. So Jacob blessed the boys that day with this blessing. The people of Israel will use your names when they give a blessing. They will say, May God make you as prosperous as Ephraim and Manasseh. In this way, Jacob put Ephraim ahead of Manasseh. 21. Then Jacob said to Joseph, Look, I am about to die, but God will be with you, will take you back to Canaan, the land of your ancestors. 22. And beyond what I have given your brothers, I am giving you an extra portion of the land, and that I took from the Amorites with my sword and bow. Chapter 49. Then Jacob called together all his sons and said, Gather around me, and I will tell you what will happen to each of you in the days to come. 2. Come and listen, you sons of Jacob. Listen to Israel, your father. 3. Reuben, you are my firstborn. My strength, the child of my vigorous youth. You are the first in rank and the first in power. 4. But you are as unruly as a flood, and you will be first no longer, for you went to bed with my wife, you defiled my marriage couch. 5. Simeon and Levi are two of a kind. Their weapons are instruments of violence. 6. May I never join in their meetings. May I never be a party to their plans, for in their anger they murdered men, and they crippled oxen just for sport. 7. A curse on their anger, for it is fierce. A curse on their wrath, for it is cruel. I will scatter them among the descendants of Jacob. I will disperse them throughout Israel. 8. Judah, your brothers will praise you. You will grasp your enemies by the neck. All your relatives will bow before you. 9. Judah, my son, is a young lion that has finished eating its prey. Like a lion, he crouches and lies down. Like a lioness, he dares to rouse him, or who dares to rouse him? At 10, the scepter will not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from his descendants, until the coming of the one to whom it belongs, the one whom all the nations will honor. 11. He ties his fowl to a grapevine, the colt of his donkey to a choice vine. He washes his clothes in wine, his robes in the blood of grapes. 12. His eyes are darker than wine, and his teeth are whiter than milk. 13. Zebulun will settle by the seashore and will be a harbor for ships. His borders will extend to Sidon. 14. Issachar is a sturdy donkey resting between two saddle pegs. 15. When he sees how good the countryside is and how pleasant the land, he will bend his shoulder to the load and submit himself to the harbor door. 16. Dan will govern his people like any other tribe in Israel. 17. Dan will be a snake beside the road and a poisonous viper along the path that bites the horse's hooves, so its rider is thrown off. And 18. I trust in you for salvation, O Lord. 19. Gad will be attacked by the marauding bands, but he will attack them when they retreat. 20. Asher will dine on rich food and produce food fit for kings. 23. Naphtali is the doer set free that bears beautiful fawns. 22. Joseph is the fowl of a donkey, of a wild donkey, the fowl of a wild donkey at a spring, one of the wild donkeys on a ridge. 23 archers attacked him savagely. They shot at him and harassed him, but his bow remained taut, and his arms were strengthened by the hands of the mighty one of Jacob, by the shepherd, the rock of Israel. May the God of your father help you. May the Almighty bless you with the blessings of the heavens above, the blessings of the watery depths below, the blessings of the breasts of the womb. 26. May the blessings of your father surpass the blessings of the Asian mountains, reaching to the heights of eternal hills. May these blessings rest on the head of Joseph, who is a prince among his brothers. 27. Benjamin is a ravenous wolf, devouring his enemies in the morning and dividing his plunder in the evening. 28. These are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is what their father said as he told his sons goodbye. He blessed each one with an appropriate message. 29. Then Jacob instructed them, "Soon I will die and join my ancestors. Bury me with my father and grandfather in the cave of the field of Ephron the Hittite." 30. This is the cave in the field of Machpelah near Mamre in Canaan that Abraham bought from Ephron the Hittite as a permanent burial site. 31. There Abraham and his wife Sarah are buried. There Isaac and his wife Rebekah are buried. And there I buried Leah. 32. It is the plot of land and the cave that my grandfather Abraham bought from the Hittites. 33. When Jacob had finished this charge to his sons, he drew his feet into the bed, breathed his last, and joined his ancestors in death. And that was Genesis 49. Until tomorrow, stay blessed.